to the all-female League of Legends team. Now I heard about this. This is like an old one. This is like 2 years ago, basically. But let's see why there's no pro female gamers in League.
It was sponsored by.
This is not to say there are plenty of female players who are way better than me. I've seen videos of female streamers in League and they're playing way better than me, okay? And I'm not talking about the people who just play support, even though for some reason majority of the females play support. I don't know why. Okay, sorry. Majority of the females that you find like on Twitch and whatever, and like the Play With Me site and all that shit, play with the female whatever games, I don't know what that site is. For some reason they all play support. Not all, but like vast majority. I don't know the statistic for sure how many females play League and how many of them play support, but it does feel like a lot of them play support. So we'll see. It's like I don't know why they like support so much.
The year is 2011.
It's the worst role. It's so boring.
Riot Games is hosting the first ever League of Legends World Championship.
Nice.
The event only had a couple hundred spectators present, but garnered.
I'm surprised it has any spectators. To be honest, it's like not any, but it's like I'm surprised it has that many spectators it has now. I would say maybe like 100 would be good.
200,000 viewers watching live, and the prize pool of such event was one.
By the way, this is 2011, so it's like super fucking early into like streaming e-games, into e-games as a whole. So
$100,000. 1 year later, these numbers would become insignificant. The esports viewer base increased dramatically, and Riot went from paying their players thousands of dollars.
I don't get it, man. Like, why would you go to such an event? It's so boring, man. It's like you're just waiting for the game to start, and then you watch people lane for 20 minutes. It's like you're just sitting there in like very uncomfortable chair next to other sweaty dudes. It's so weird. I don't get it. It's like I hope they just serve like at least maybe they serve like alcohol or something.
To now millions of dollars, and the rest is history. As the years went by, League of Legends never slowed down and only kept growing. However, as the
dead game by the way
scene became bigger, some people started having questions about the participants, because although esports had evolved in every way possible, one thing did stand out.
That is
Why
pretty cool,
are
though.
there no girls? This made people wonder if there was literally something in.
Like girls love to play in the LC. Why are there no girls? Because nerd guys just better. Girls have other priorities than to play League all day.
The rules that stated women couldn't compete.
Also, you just have by far more guys playing video games. As prevalent as it is now for girls to play video games, there are just vastly more guys playing it. I would say it is odd that no team has at least one female player. But also, I'm not surprised because I'm pretty sure if there was one female player on those teams, there would be drama and sexual assault allegations. Straight up, I'm telling you right now. So it's not even worth the hassle. Let me fix my hair. Okay.
In League of Legends esports, but the answer was no. Gender was not an issue. To be a participant in the LCS, all you had to do was be over a certain age depending on your country. Instead, the simple answer to why there are no females in professional League of Legends is simply that there are no female players at the level of the professional players. But we're gonna put a pin in this for now and come back to this topic later, because the exclusion of women in esports actually ended up spawning teams that would entirely consist of women.
That's it. But now women are being sexist, because now they're just hiring because they're women and not because of skill. Meanwhile, the guys were just hiring based on skill. If there was trust me, knowing guys, they would be more than happy if there was a female that was playing with them at their level, so they can play together.
The goal in a lot of these teams is to prove that girl gamers are just as good as the boys.
Wasn't there like a massive like a Counter-Strike team full of girls that were like really fucking good?
This is their words, not mine. But how could they prove this when some of these teams would barely compete in anything as professional players? These teams aren't participating in any established leagues or tournaments. Instead, taking a look at a team like PandaCute, an all-female team from Hong Kong sponsored by Razer, they specifically only competed against other random female teams. At no
So
point
weird,
would
yeah.
these all-female teams be able to prove anything. But all this would change in 2018 with
Oh shit.
Invictus Esports, a team who participates in the LCL, the Russian equivalent of the LCS. This was just a regular esports team. It was entirely comprised of male players. But at one point, it seemed that the organization was struggling to fund their professional team. They dropped all their players and put up their franchise slot up for sale.
Going once, going twice.
No one bought it. This would force the org to still participate in the league, despite the fact that they already threw away all their players. So apparently, the only logical solution was to create a brand new team consisting of female players.
To be fair, I would say 3 of them would probably make more money off Instagram and OnlyFans than of League of Legends. But and I'm sure some of them did. the one to the right in the middle, really cute.
Now, regardless of how bizarre this situation was,
I shouldn't say it. Like, I want less girls to do OnlyFans, but like, based on the tone of where this is going and like how they got hired for to be on the team, it's like I just feel bad. It's like I don't think this is where you're gonna make your money, kind of thing, just based on the tone.
this decision would create a dynamic which until now had never existed. For the first time ever, a team fully comprised of female players would become
Why are they all playing female characters too?
competing in a tournament officially
I'm surprised that the guys are gonna ban all the support female characters.
organized by Riot Games. This meant that despite how unlikely it would be, there was actually a statistical chance that an all-female team could make it to Worlds, the highest level of competitive League of Legends. Spoiler, it obviously didn't happen. But in some alternate universe, Faker is crying because he lost to a player named Triggered. The story of Vayvictus plays out like a movie or a show that starts off by telling you how the story ends. You just don't know how they're gonna get there. And I say this because after participating in 2 splits of the LCL, they were officially removed from the tournament. So let's rewind and ask the big question. What happened? Let's begin on day 1, February 16, 2019, the inaugural match of the all-female Vayvictus Esports.
But compared to like all the guy players, like they are much higher. How should I say it? Like most of the guys that play League are like a 3. How they look. These girls are like a 6 to an 8, right? It's like, and because they play games, they're actually hotter than that, you know.
They lost 12-1. However, tomorrow they play again and will have another chance at proving themselves.
Post-match threat. Vayvictus Esports versus Vega Squadron. 31 minutes, 37 seconds. 52-2. I've seen people get a 14-day suspension for less. Me and the boys. Smurfing in iron. If I had this KDA in a ranked game, I would be banned.
My girls almost had them. Draft was slightly off, but it's a good progress. Next time.
For those who aren't entirely League of Legends savvy, a score of 52-2 is horrible.
With no
Oh, yeah.
exceptions.
With a disastrous opening game, Vayvictus Gaming instantly became a meme within the League of Legends community. The English-speaking world would generally have no reason to care about the Russian professional scene. Performances in Russia would barely ever get traction on the League of Legends
I'm not one of those guys who makes posts like this about major regions. I just love my region and hope you Reddit would appreciate some info about our finals. Also hope this post will not be deleted. So congratulations to Unicorns of Love with their qualification to 2019 Worlds play-ins. Okay.
Subreddit. But there would be a thread created for each and every single match of
Oh yeah, there was a time when you could ban only 3 champions. Like the first pick of each team banned 3 champions or some shit.
Victis Gaming. Now, of course, not all of these threads were that popular. After the first couple headlines, people got the message. There's a pro team in Russia consisting of all female players, and they suck. So over time, this became old news and people moved on. Until 1 month after their infamous debut, they would make headlines again. This time because Victis Esports broke a record. The record for the fastest defeat in the LCL. On March 3rd, 2019, Victis Esports lost a game of professional League of Legends in 13 minutes. To put that into perspective, an average game of League is about 30 minutes long.
At that time, yeah.
Additionally, in order to surrender,
now it's like 25,
the game
but yeah.
requires you to have played at least for 15 minutes.
This event would unfortunately completely solidify Victis Esports as a joke.
Also,
That's
if you
a
know
joke.
anything about League of Legends, you know that the
Oh my
objective of
God,
the game
bro.
at its core is to take down towers and destroy the enemy team's nexus.
Bullshit, it's about tilting the enemy team by fucking ganking one person constantly, so he starts to rage at his own jungler for not getting ganks, so he tilts his whole team. That's what you do in League of Legends. You tilt one player on the enemy team, so he blames his team for it.
Well, despite this literally being the objective of the game, Victis Gaming would go on to destroy their first ever tower in their 11th professional match.
Nice.
To put their performance record further into perspective, I want to ask you if you follow any traditional sporting teams on social media. Because basically every team's Twitter or Instagram will make some sort of neat graphic at the end of each match announcing whether they won or lost. Oftentimes showcasing the best player of the night on a win, and then on the flip side leaving a "we'll get him next time" sort of feel on a post announcing a loss. And as of recently, esports teams have taken to this trend as well, and Victis Gaming were no stranger. They ended up posting a total of 11 back-to-back graphics, all of which were announcing that they lost. It took 11 games in a row for whoever
Straight up good mental.
was running their Instagram account to decide that, okay, this whole winning thing isn't gonna happen, is it? And it really didn't. The team ended their competitive career on a historic 28-match lose streak. They actually also participated in a mid-season summer tournament. There they played 6 games and lost them all as well. So if you
Jesus
include
Christ.
those, they actually ended on a 34-match lose streak. And by the way, that's the magic number, 34. It took Riot Games in Russia 34 games to officially remove Victis Gaming from competing in the LCL. Now, you might think that this was a complete disaster for the Victis organization. And I don't know the company's logistics, but some would argue
I think it was like good for them because they probably paid the girls like almost nothing, dirt cheap, and it got them a lot of publicity because they're the only all-female team at that point.
that it was actually a success. Sure, these girls embarrassed themselves at 34 different events, but if the company at all believes in any publicity being good publicity, then they succeeded. Because, believe it or not, this team actually acquired fans. Remember those Instagram posts I talked about earlier? Well, while looking through them, I found a lot of encouraging comments coming
Despite defeat, the girls already showed an improvement. Gradually, they will fit the game better and they will achieve a victory. I'm always in the crowd.
Victis supporters. Now, of course, some of these dudes were straight simping, but others
100%.
appeared to be just fans who wanted.
What was that?
Of course, some of these dudes were straight simping, but others
How can I get her to marry me?
appeared to be just fans who wanted to support the underdogs. In this case, these fans were supporting a team who would always have almost no chance of winning. But there was still a little bit of a chance, and obtaining just one victory would make everything worth it.
Wait.
fans who wanted to support the underdogs.
Wait
In
a
this
second.
case,
Wait a second.
so these fans were supporting a team who would always have almost no chance of winning. But there was still a little bit of a chance, and obtaining just one victory would make everything worth it. Of course, that never happened.
Oh god.
And that's the end of Vayvictis Esports. After being removed from the LCL, the team is now participating in all-female tournaments instead. However, despite all of this mess, I actually still think that the day when a female pro comes to League of Legends is actually coming soon.
It's been 2 years since this video.
But it will most definitely not come in the form of an entire team built around female players, because that's a gimmick. Instead, there will one day be a female player who is at the level of the current professional skill level. And this isn't so crazy of an idea. Just a while back, a team in Brazil who participates in the Brazilian equivalent of the LCS actually signed their first ever female player. Her name was Mayumi and she was a challenger support main. I could talk at length about that situation, but for the most part, it was a quick glimpse of what could happen when the integration of
What did I say about supports?
female players is done correctly. And like I said, I believe that this scenario is coming very soon. Come back to this video when it happens. But until then, continue browsing the internet safely with ExpressVPN. A VPN encrypts all the internet traffic you receive and send, ensuring that your IP address remains hidden by masking it with a brand new IP address in a territory of your choice. In general, this keeps you protected on the internet. I personally have used ExpressVPN myself to watch content that was otherwise blocked in my country, because no matter where you live, you'll eventually come across a YouTube video or something that says this content is blocked in your region. But ExpressVPN solves that issue. And speaking of being region blocked, this is not exclusive to video content. Some video games also use region blocks, like Valorant. Valorant's region block makes it so that you and your friend cannot play together if you're not in the same region. But thanks to ExpressVPN, you and your friend can be reunited and have fun playing together as if you were
just one has 200 ping and one has 30, you know?
sitting side by side. But you're actually thousands of miles apart.
Wow.
So find out how you can get
Fucking
3 months of
technology went far,
ExpressVPN
huh?
for free by going to expressvpn.com.
See, they have Nilawi.
The link will be in the description. Thank you for watching, check out ExpressVPN, and I'll see you again next week.
Oh man, I don't think I've seen a female in the esports, but whatever. I mean, it's like how many teams there are. What's the player pool compared to the teams? It's like, I feel like there's just like, they'll always find a better player and it's usually going to be male. Like if you're trying to get the best players. Wait, is that Baldwin? Likely Rotent, Trumper. Never mind. Dude, I don't know, man. Like I feel like the chances of a female making it to like a competition, like the the worlds and whatever, is slim to none, just because of the player pool. And like, I don't know why men are better at, like, I'm assuming men just have better motor skills or something, or like more cool-headedness, which really helps in those games. But like, I don't know, man. It's been 2 years since this video. I still haven't heard of that female player that made it to Worlds. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, let's go to the next one. Hey.